Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. It's fantastic that you're here. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video commentary on the Black Sorrows. Joe Camilleri and the massive musicians he's gathered over the years, and in particular their song Hold On To Me. And in that video we talked about the fact that if you're going through stuff and struggling, having someone to be able to say hold on to me is one of the best things that you can hear. And for those of you who've got someone in your life who may need that, that's one of the best things you can say to them. And I trust you enjoyed that one. And by the way, the link to that particular video is in the description below. So if you want to recap after this one today, feel free. So we're going from there to Adelaide duo Kirsten Crozer and Jenny Hood. Now they're from the south of Adelaide and they formed the group Bloom around 2015. And because these two were in each other's worlds a fair bit and they were both singer-songwriters, it was only a matter of time before they found a resonance and started collaborating with each other. I actually know these two quite well, and I suppose I'm not an agent for these two, but I thought it would be good to talk about them. So, there's no commission or anything like that today. It's all above board, but it's great to be able to talk about Bloom and the impact that they've made on the world in just a very short space of time. They have, I suppose, they write very much in the gospel genre. Now, I have talked about gospel before, and I've talked about the fact that this genre probably goes into the inner journey of what makes us tick as individuals, unlike any other genre. And so I think in lots of ways, the Christian music genre definitely has a place in the world. And so please hang around as we talk about some stuff today. Gospel inspirational and pop rock, and they've also got a bit of funk beats in there as well. So really varied in what they bring out. They have released a bit of music since 2015. They released the Worship the King album in 2016, and I was very, very privileged indeed to go to the launch of that CD. And what a beautiful, lush imagery, fantastic performance that particular day was. Worship the King is one of my treasured CDs in my collection. It's great to have that one. In 2017, they released a double single EP, Love Came Down. I suppose that one went along with Christmas. And this year, they've released an EP, Breathe. And the three songs I'm going to talk about today actually come from this particular album. And interestingly, Jen has released an EP in her right, and so has Kirsten. They've both done EPs in their own right, so very, really talented girls indeed. They do perform at various festivals around Adelaide, and they'll get other musicians. There's a Rachel and a Brad and a Ben that will help them out when they do their live performing, just to give them a bit more of a sound. The thing I love about Bloom, Kirsten has got an incredible singing voice, absolutely stunning voice. And she recorded one of my songs a little while ago, and I really brought the song to life really well. Jen is a multi-instrumentalist. She dabbles in some studio work as well. She's a great producer, and she's the sort of one that can get a harmony and just go with it for any song at all. She has this real knack of harmonising really well, and a pretty accomplished guitarist in particular in her own right as well. So when these two come together, it's quite a captivating thing indeed. And I thought, because I knew Bloom, it would be good actually get some insights from them about the three songs I want to talk about today. Because I suppose when I talked about the Black Sorrows and Hold On To Me, the three things we're touching on today very much need people you can hold on to as life goes forward. So here's some thoughts from them about some songs today. The first song is From the Ashes. Now, in Australia in late 2019 and early 2020, there were some pretty bad bushfires in Australia. A lot of Australia was up in flames at that point. These fires were massive and they're huge, and was one of the biggest tragedies Australia has ever experienced. Just the breadth of devastation, the amount of land got burned, and the amount of animals that got killed through the fires, and the amount of properties that were lost is just insurmountable. And so this song was penned in February 2020, and it was during the catastrophe. In some places, the fires were still going at this point, and it told the story of many across the nation who had lost their properties. And you'll see in this particular video, there's some before and after photos of a property in the Adelaide Hills, Maxine and Ron, who had lost their house of 30 years. And so it is often through these tragedies, they go on to say, that we find ourselves thinking about what truly matters in life, searching for hope and meaning. As I talked to you about before, this genre goes into these places probably better than no other genre does. And the impact of this resulting in a great nation beyond coming together to offer hope, love and support to those in the time of need. I was fortunate to be involved as a chaplain in both Kangaroo Island and the Adelaide Hills. And even though the government was up there offering support and grants and all the rest of it, it was the communities coming together to support each other that really was the difference between life and death for many of these people. Everybody knows everybody. And when you know people, you just want to find out how they're going, which is what this song is all about. There was a particular general store owner in Vivon Bay in Kangaroo Island that took on a real community leadership role in that particular place, because of Vivon Bay, it was a bit of touch and go for a while, and some of it got touched quite badly. And so we got to experience and to hear some of her story. Was pretty amazing indeed. So From the Ashes, now the song Breathe. And again, this is a song that touches on domestic violence, and it follows the story of a young woman who, leaves the safety of her family home when she thinks she's found the love of her life. And sadly, as many have encountered, that was not the case. And there's just a downward spiral, and she finds herself in the middle of her night picking up her baby, herself, and a few clothes, and having to make a run for it. And again, they say in this particular song, our hope is that this song is not a trigger for those who have experienced the horrors of domestic violence or any other type of abusive relationship, but rather to serve as a reminder that you are loved and you are worthy of hope, and there is so much help available and hope for the future. One of the things I love about this video, I love this song Breathe. There's something timeless about this song in particular. I love the way the clip has been shot. We see someone who is absolutely desperate at the start almost become a ray of light at the end. It really is a beautiful story of healing and restoration. And as she treasures her daughter, and as her and her dad play with their daughter, it's a beautiful thing indeed to witness. So Breathe is about that. And then we've got Running to You. And this was written by Kirsten out of her experiences with depression. She goes on to say that the lyrics include some of the details of the journey while getting professional help, but most importantly, the part that her faith played in her healing. Now, as I talked about at the start, the Christian music genre probably goes into the inner journey better than any other genre, I think, in existence. And I think because we see that even though life can be hard, there is hope. Well, I suppose for Jen and Kirsten, it's very much a faith in their God that has helped them to get through this stuff. And I suppose they're singing about that hope with anyone who would want to listen to their songs. In contrast, Kirsten goes on to say here, in contrast to how depression makes us feel, Running to You is an upbeat song filled with hope, and as it is encouragement for those that are still struggling day to day, that you are not alone, as depression would make you want to believe, and you can make choices to let the sun come in. You know, depression is all about stuff in the past that has happened that makes us feel sad, and it kind of holds on to us, and we don't know what to do about it. Anxiety, on the other hand, is all based on those experiences. It's all about the fact that we can't face the day because something bad might happen. So anxiety is almost like anticipating the day's going to be bad. And so we may not go outside because it's just easier to hang on and not do that, not take the risk. So if you're in either of those situations right now, one where you've got situations in the past which just won't let you go, or things that you are expecting that are going to happen and may not, the real challenge today, and I think an encouragement for today, first of all, to see the fact that you are worthy as an individual. You are worthy of love, and you are worthy of care. You are worthy of hope, and you're certainly worthy of dreams. Get some help if you find yourself in these situations, because particularly at the moment with COVID-19, there's a lot of concern out there about mental health at the moment, and there are people, professionals just waiting to be able to help people through those moments. We're quite good at mental health now. It's not the stigma. It hasn't got the stigma that it used to have. It's just realising that in this day and age, life is tricky and life is hard, and sometimes we need help to get us through things. So reach out before it's too late. And that's certainly what the encouragement of these 3 songs is today. One of the things I like about all 3 of these songs really is the fact that there is hope and light out the other side of tragedy. And the light will always be there to a certain extent. The thing is to know where it is and to grasp it with both hands. Hold on to it with all your might. And certainly as communities, we need to be there for each other, because sometimes it can be quite a lonely world, and we need to be there for each other in this world that we live in today. That's also the encouragement, I believe, of these 3 songs, that people go through horrible things in this day and age. And sometimes people need the space just to be able to talk and to listen and just to be them. So I trust that those 3 videos, and by the way, the description, the links to each of these clips are in the description below. And you'll also notice that below there is a link to the Bandcamp account, the Bloom, and also if you want to download the videos, there's the links to the 3 places you can download these videos. Again, I'm not an agent for these guys, I'm just talking about them today, and that's about it. So good on you, Jen and Kirsten, for what you've brought to the world since 2015. Adelaide certainly has taken notice of you, and it's wonderful that you guys are using your amazing gifts and your amazing talents to be able to bring light to the world, to all who hear your songs. And good on you for going into places which can be a bit tricky to talk about, but bringing hope and light into those situations is a gift that you've brought to the world with these songs. So well done indeed. Well, that's it for today. I really trust that this has been an encouragement for you today. If you have come back for another video, fantastic, well done indeed. Thank you for doing so. And if you've hung around to the end, great as well. It's great that you're here. So that's it for today. Next time, we're going to go on to the 1980 iconic movie of the Blues Brothers. So until then, I'll catch you around.